Hey everybody, welcome to our Wednesday night team call. We have Epic Empire in the house. Raise your hand if you're Epic Empire. We had a party. We had a party. And where is it Team Engage?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you're a Team Engage. Yes. Look at all those crazy hands waving around. Awesome. Well, I am super pumped because we have a information-packed call for you guys tonight, and I hope that you have pen and paper in place. I'm just pulling up some information so I don't botch any introductions, but lots of congratulations going on. You guys know tomorrow is the last moment to qualify for whatever rank you want to be at Summit. So if you are trying to hit Diamond, get off the call and go get it. I'm just kidding. No, but tonight is the last night. So tomorrow morning, whatever you are is what you're going to be recognized at Summit. So congratulations to whatever achievements you have set for yourself and achieved. And if you haven't, you know what? It's a kick in the pants to get it going, right? Awesome. Let's see. What else we have? Congrats, Carla. She graduated nursing school. Just want to give her a big shout out and congrats. Kelly King retired from her daycare job. Done. No more wiping bottoms and snotty noses. She is a full-time Beachbody coach. So congratulations, Kelly. Lisa Crichton put in her notice to her school and will not be teaching anymore. So she is going to be a full-time Beachbody coach as well. And of course, Ren Young should be having a baby any minute now. Oh, Kelly's got 20 more days. So, but still, congratulations. And that is a great leeway into my introduction because this man I met, what was it, like almost 3 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. And we were both hosting our own Super Saturdays. And mine was like 12 people. And his was probably a lot better, like 25. I don't know. Maybe more, 50. I don't know. But he was in Centerville and I was here in Montclair, Virginia. And he was like, dude, who's this chick that's like right down the street trying to host a Super Saturday? Why don't we just join forces? So he messaged me and we decided to start the DC Super Saturday, which has turned into this huge event of a sellout, 1,200 people attending. We've had Carl Deichler, Autumn Calabrese, Tony Horton, Jeff Hill, all of them attending our Super Saturday. So I really, really enjoy working with him. He is complete polar opposites of me. He is insanely organized. I'm insanely unorganized. I just love Greg because he brings all my weaknesses to light. And I can go to him and be like, Greg, please help. I don't know what the heck, where to sign people on what side, what leg. I mean, when I didn't know how to open my second business center, where to put them, Greg was the person that I reached out to for help in that. So I appreciate you a ton, Greg. So if he is your personally sponsored, you are a blessed person. If he is a leader of an amazing team. So be thankful that you have such great leadership because I've been under his leadership with DC Market Council and we are super, super blessed to have him. Greg is I'm going to let him share a story, but let me give you some credentials. He is a 9-star diamond coach. He's also a 2-star diamond, I'm assuming, in one of his business centers, and then a diamond as well in another business center. So combining, that's what, 9, 10, 11, 12 personally sponsored diamonds. Yeah, I had to count that on hand. That was pretty bad. That's that South Carolina education going on there. I'm just kidding. All right, he's a 3-time elite coach. And while you might think elite is always easy, sometimes it's kind of nail-biting to the last minute. And he has achieved that 3 years in a row, which is a huge accomplishment. Success Club 5 legend, which means he's hit Success Club 5 for 24 months consecutively. And then I guess on a new trend or Success Club 10 All-Star, which means he's hit Success Club 10 12 months consecutively without dropping to 8 or 9. He's continued hitting 10 consecutively. And it's so neat to see a guy thriving in this business. And I love that there's so many guys on this call. I need to send my guys over to you for assistance because they look at me like, really, I'm not going to market to moms. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I talk about all the time. But Greg, I just wanted you to share your journey and your story with my team so they can hear, and especially for those amazing coaches on my call and probably your team as well who are looking to replace their full-time income. Your story is an inspiration. So I'm going to give you the floor.
Sure. And I also give some tips about how I did it. So I know a lot of you guys probably heard my story if you were at the 4 Vital Behaviors. I know, Jatana, you probably had like 30 coaches there, right? Um, so I forgive me for, repeating something. And of course, my team has probably all heard my story. But with the Success Club, I've been in it for 50 months in a row. So I just wanted to point that out because yeah, I know it seems crazy. I mean, I still can't believe that I've hit Success Club for 50 months in a row, but you can do it, So, but anyway, I'll start with my story of when I started. I started out just like a customer, just like most of everybody on the call. And the reason that I started is because I went to the doctor for my 40th year checkup, and the doctors told me that he gave me a lot of bad news. He said, Greg, you're overweight. He said your blood pressure is high, your cholesterol is high, your blood sugar is high. He put me on blood pressure medication. He told me I needed to lose weight. And I was like, oh crap, because I mean, how many of us have been like, on yo-yo diets in the past, or gone to the gym and had that, fail, or I've done Weight Watchers in the past and lost weight, but nothing that I was able to stick with. So I saw a buddy of mine working out, and he was doing P90X, and I went to high school with him. We played sports together. So I said, if he can do it, I can do it. So I started it, it about killed me. I was so out of shape. And part of the reason that I was so out of shape is because I got laid off from my job a year before, and I had to go find a new job. And the stress of finding that new job, starting a new job, learning something totally new that, if anybody's ever done that, you can imagine the stress. So all I did was work and eat and, sit at a desk. So I ended up gaining like, 50 pounds. But, with the help of, P90X and Insanity, I was able to lose all that weight. And, I went back to the doctor 6 months later, and Shakeology, of course. And the doctor, took me off of blood pressure medicine. He tested all my vitals again. Everything was back to normal. So, he was amazed at my transformation. He said, Greg, you got to keep doing whatever you're doing. So, that's when I knew that I had to become a coach. I was already a coach at that point, but I knew I had to stay accountable, And the reason that I became a coach to begin with was because I wanted the discount on Shakeology. So I can let you know that some of you might have done this. When I started, I told my coach, because my coach, Scott, I don't think he's on the call, but he was telling me about all the money that I could make in this business and how people were making millions of dollars, and I didn't believe a word he said. And I just said, yeah, that's never going to happen for me. I told him, don't expect anything out of me. So he ended up placing me on the inside leg of his wife, like a total dead spot. So, if you guys are like, oh, I'm not on a power leg, doesn't matter. Build your own power leg, So anyway, I started running challenge groups, and I really liked helping people. I wanted to help people get results. I liked running the challenge groups. My goal was just to get anybody that I could into the challenge group. I went around to people at work who I know. I had all these people at work who were doing P90X because one guy was like passing out bootleg copies to everybody of P90X. And I just went around to them all, and I'm like, hey, come join my challenge group. I don't care if you didn't buy a program from me or you have a bootleg copy. I'm just, I just need people in there because I don't want to be by myself. I don't want this challenge group to fail. But, I had a lot of people that were joining it, and because that was my only goal. And then I started making money at it. I started getting customers that were converting over to me or switching to me, or signing up with me, you know, or, you know, agreeing to buy another program after they finished P90X. And I remember my first check was $37.50, you know, and it just kept growing from there. So, you know, my original why was to lose weight, to get in shape. And I didn't tell you like why it was such a wake-up call for me, because I have heart disease that runs in my family. Like, all my grandparents have died from heart disease. My grandfather, he died before I even got to meet him, you know? So I knew I'm in trouble, right? From the get-go. You know, I still may be in trouble with heart disease, because, you know, even people who are in good shape, you know, can have heart problems. So I know that I had to do whatever I could to combat that, you know, and then that was kind of, you know, going to the doctor was a wake-up call for me. So I knew I had to get in shape, and, you know, and it could potentially save my life. So that was my original why, for why I needed to get in shape and why I needed to become a coach and stay a coach and stay accountable. But then my why started to change as I started to earn money, you know, because I kind of started to see the potential of this, and I started to get my car payment paid for, and then my house payment paid for eventually. And then my why kind of grew, you know, and my why turned into, like, you know, because my wife doesn't work and I was working, and, you know, any of you guys who are, you know, just a single paycheck family know that you kind of live paycheck to paycheck. You don't have that extra income that you can put in savings. So I really didn't have very much saved, and I was really worried because I have two teenage daughters, you know, and you know how much weddings cost, you know. I'm like, my sisters got married and it was like $40,000 a wedding, and I was like, there's no way I could possibly pay for a wedding, you know. And then, you know, college, right? I mean, how much does college cost nowadays? I have no idea, but I know it was outrageous when I went to college. So I knew I had all these huge bills, you know, potentially coming up, that I wanted to be able to save for and provide for my family, right? As a guy, as a man, that's very important. So, you know, that became my why, and Beachbody actually made that happen. After 4 years, I was able to retire from my full-time job with $100,000 in the bank. So I met that goal and was able to, you know, make more money with Beachbody, you know. So now I do this full-time, and I'm working on, you know, having financial freedom. So, you know, I mean, you guys are like, you know, how's that happen? Or how's that possible? You know, a dude making money in this business, you know? And why I think Trish is a Ruby is she told me when she signed on that anything that a guy can do, a girl can do, you know, twice as fast. So that's why I know she's a Ruby. So how did I do it? You know, I want to give you guys some tips on how I did it. And I'm going to talk about recruiting some, because some of you might be awesome at selling challenge packs. You might be awesome at commissions, but that's not going to give you that financial freedom. Okay. That's not going to give you that recurring revenue, right? That's going to come in week after week, whether you are selling or not selling, or whether you're on vacation or not on vacation. So one thing that I was good at was recruiting coaches. And I probably, you know, don't recruit as many as Jatana does. You know, I don't recruit, you know, 20 or 30 or however many, you know, some of these top coaches do. But I always have done, I think I've averaged about 2 to 3 coaches a month. And in the beginning, we didn't have challenge packs. You guys are kind of spoiled. You know, you got the whole thing bundled together. You got the workout program, the Shakeology, the coach sign up, all bundled together at a discounted price. We didn't have that. We had Shakeology when I started. We had the workout program sold separately. So if you wanted to hit Success Club 5, you could sell Shakeology by itself, right? And you'd get 1 point back then with HD. But if you wanted 2 points, you had to get a coach to sign up with Shakeology. So just like now your goal is to sell challenge packs, my goal was to get coaches to sign up with Shakeology. So that's what I would do. I would get 2 to 3 coaches every single month to sign up. And that's what earned me my Success Club trip. Every single year, I earned a free Success Club trip. And that's why I've been hitting Success Club 5 for 50 months in a row, pretty much every month since I've signed up. So, you know, how did I do that? I mean, how do you do that? And then basically what it comes down to is overcoming your fear. It's like, are you afraid to ask people to become a coach? Are you afraid to ask your challengers? You know, my strategy is just ask everybody. I just ask every single one of my challengers, whether I think that they would be interested in coaching or not. And if they tell me that, you know, that they're slightly interested, then, or, you know, would like more information, then I get them on the phone, and I get them on the phone, and I get to answer all their questions, and I get to tell them all the awesome things about coaching, and they can hear the excitement in my voice, and they want to be part of the team. And then, you know, 99% of the time that they'll want to become a coach and join our team. So, you know, it's just getting you guys over the fear of talking to people about this opportunity. And really, this opportunity is the best thing that Beachbody has to offer. It's not Shakeology. It's not any program, 21 Day Fix or anything else. It's this amazing opportunity that we're all part of. So I heard a coach last week, he said this analogy, and I thought it was great. And I'll just say it to you guys. He said, if I could guarantee you, he said, if you talk to 2 people every single day and you invite them to be a coach, after 4 years, if you do this, I will guarantee you $100,000, a 6-figure income for the rest of your life. Would you do it? And for most of us, that's kind of a no-brainer. We'd be like, heck yes, I'd find 2 people that I could I would invite to the coaching opportunity, right? Because, you know, I just have to do this for 4 years, and then I'm guaranteed a 6-figure income. Well, for me, I mean, I didn't even do that. All I did was I talked to enough people to find 2 coaches a month. You know, sometimes I had to talk to dozens of people to find 2 coaches. But bottom line is, you know, I had that goal of 2 to 3 coaches a month. And in 4 years, I achieved that 6-figure income. You know, actually it was in 3 years, you know. Jatana was probably in 2 years. So, you know, it's, you know, it just comes down to recruiting and being consistent. So if you guys, and I'm sure you all want this, you know, if you want that financial freedom, if you have those big goals of bringing your spouse home or bringing yourself home from work so you can be with your kids, you know, it's not going to happen unless you are recruiting. So, you know, that's kind of my story, and I wanted to give you some tips on how I achieved it, not just tell you, you know, what I did, but kind of how I did it. So I'm not going to take up too much time because I know everyone on my team at least wants to hear from Jatana. So unless anybody has any particular questions for me, I will then introduce Jatana.
Does anybody have any questions for Greg? He is
Kelsey? You're muted.
I think she's trying to unmute her line. Is it Kelsey King that want to ask a question? Or a different Kelsey?
It's a guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bonk.
Greg, did you have your own blog or website? Yes, I do. I do have my own website. I don't blog, you know, I'm not a blogger, but I do have a website where I can refer people. But that is not, you know, I mean, that's kind of gravy, right? I mean, it's I wouldn't say that that's how I built my business, right? I mean, yes, I do bring in leads for my website, But, you know, really it comes down to talking to people, to making new friends, to inviting people. You know, it's like, how do I hit now I'm at SC10. Now that's my goal, right? SC10. And I've upped my coaching. So now my goal is 5 coaches a month. So it's 5 coaches a month in SC10. And I do that. You know, I was talking to my team last night or Monday night about going for no, right? It's like, I go for no. If you guys haven't read that book, get that book, read that book. It's like, I will friend and I will talk to 100 people. If I have to talk to 100 people to get those, you know, those 10 yeses or whatever, then that's what I do.
Love it. Well, that ripple effect of talking to 100 people is huge. Kelsey, did you have any more questions?
Yeah, sorry. I'm using my wife's computer, so it's going to...
Oh, he just unmuted himself. Okay.
Oh, you're muted again.
It's going to say, is his name Kelsey?
No, I think that's his wife's name.
Okay.
Kelsey's husband. That's what we're going to call you. But you're still muted.
Somebody wrote a question. Was there any specific way you went about asking your coach prospects? I assume you tailor to the person and situation, but this is my biggest issue, so I look for any way to start those conversations. Yeah,
I kept it simple, Nicole, right? Basically what I would say is typically most of the time the person is either in one of my free groups or they're in my challenge group, right? They already have a program, they're already working out. So I typically will ask, especially in the beginning, I would ask people after, you know, they've at least done 30 days and seeing some results, you know. Now I'm more, I guess, aggressive, so I'll, you know, convert them to a coach right away. But especially when I started, you know, I would wait till people like went through the, you know, 21-day fix, for example, you know, and then you get to, they see results, right? And especially if they're on Shakeology, that's easy, right? I mean, that's easy to convince somebody to become a coach, but you don't want to just go after them for the discount, right? You want those working coaches. So basically what I tell people is I would always start with a compliment, and I would say, you know, hey, you are doing a great job on this program. You're consistent. You're posting every day. You're encouraging others. I think you would make a great coach. Have you ever considered it? That's all I say. You know, I just give them a compliment, and I just say, you know, hey, have you ever considered being a coach and doing what I do? That's it. And if they say, you know, no or yes, you know, or no, but I might want to do it someday, or no, or I would be interested in more information, then the next step that I would do is I would always say, well, I would be happy to talk to you about it and answer all your questions. Would you be interested in getting on the phone and we can have a short conversation? And most of the time people are like, sure, yeah, I can talk to you, you know, and then we schedule an appointment and we talk, and I tell them about, you know, all the awesome things and the trips and the, you know, and I get them excited. And people who are just wanting the discount, I still get them on the phone because I still want to tell them about all the awesome things that they can do as a coach, you know. And typically I can tell you that like all of my diamonds probably started as discount coaches, you know. Yeah. They just wanted the discount in the beginning.
And somebody wrote, they get a lot that people say I don't have time for that. And one of the best ways to address objections is to make sure your posts are tailored towards your objections. So, you know, if people are saying you don't have time for that, then I'm showing me on my little MacBook Pro in the back of my minivan on a trip doing a call. Like, I make it happen, I make it work. We have computers and cell phones. I can sit there and follow up with challengers while I'm walking through the grocery store grabbing groceries, which Yeah,
what we do now is, obviously we do more of the coaching opportunity posts, right, on Facebook and stuff. I do a lot of that now, and I tracked a lot of people through my like page and stuff. But we run sneak peeks, right? So we do sneak peeks as a team, and I know you guys probably do those too. And you're going to talk about a different kind of sneak peek, right? So, but we do coaching sneak peeks, and those are great, and those help everybody. So yeah, we've kind of moved into that. But you know, when I was kind of talking about when I started, you know, that was kind of my strategy. And still, even with the sneak peeks, a lot of times I will talk to people on the phone. I'll convince them to be a coach, and a lot of times they'll sign up even before the sneak peek, and then I still throw them into the sneak peek so that they can like hear everything and hear from the team and you know, that type of thing.
Thanks. Awesome.
Okay, so I will go ahead and introduce Jatana now. Okay, Jatana, I think I have it memorized. I don't need to look at the notes. Jatana is 10-star qualifying. She wanted to bet me who would get to 10-star first, and I was like, no way am I taking that bet. So 10-star qualifying. She's two-time elite coach. She's an SC5 legend, and she's Miss America. And
I'm not Miss
No, sorry, Miss Virginia. She was formerly Miss Virginia, right? Miss Virginia.
That's funny. You know what's funny, Greg? Even funnier is Mrs. America's actually on the call right now. She's on my
Really?
team. Yeah.
Wow.
Madeline Gwen is on.
Oh, I didn't mean to take anything away from her. Sorry.
That's funny.
So yeah, she's already told you about how we met and how we work together. But she is a great friend and kind of like a local accountability buddy of mine. So we can talk and confer and, you know, complain about our coach. No, I'm kidding. So Jatana's going to talk to you guys about how she runs her sneak peeks for the 21-day fix program and how she runs her challenge groups. And I know some of you might have already seen like that she's done this before, but I wanted you guys to all hear it live from her. And I know that you guys probably have a lot of questions for her. So that's why I would like her to talk about it and hopefully answer any of your questions, because I think it's a brilliant idea. So Jatana, if you want to take it away.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing about, I know some of you guys have heard this, and like Greg said, we're going to ask questions at the end so that we can really get a full understanding of what I do. And then I'm going to show you some of my groups so you can actually see it. And when you watch the videos on YouTube, you don't get to see that kind of stuff. So I want to share that with you as well. So thank you for the introduction, and thank you to Team Engaged for listening to me chat. And I'm sorry for Epic Empire that has to hear this again. Maybe you'll learn something new through this. But my name's Jatana. I am a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 boys, 7 and 5, married to the amazing Joshua Jackson. And I started coaching 3 years ago, and I did Insanity, and I failed at it multiple times. Got on the message board, looked for somebody who was doing Insanity. I emailed them, and I said, I need help. And so she plugged me into a challenge group, which is why I'm super passionate about challenge groups. I think they're so much fun. That sapphire comes out in me. And the fact that I was a lonely stay-at-home mom with little babies that just said goo goo gaga all day, I was able to plug in with a group of people, a community, because us moms lack that community sometimes, especially in the DC area. And so the challenge group just fed all of my needs at one time. And I thrived there. So I kind of have a heart and a passion for it. And when I hear coaches say they don't run challenge groups, I'm like, how? What do you do? Like, I don't get how you run your business without doing that, because it's the bread and butter of my team. I have a cough, sorry. So I was able to complete Insanity, which I thought was a huge feat, and I couldn't have done it without the challenge group process. I became a coach 7 weeks in, and it was actually out of my own doing. So guys and girls, if there are people in your challenge groups, like Greg said, do not hesitate to mention it, because one, it's either going to plant a seed of thought in their mind of whether or not they could be a coach, or they've already been thinking about it anyways, and they're like, Thank you. Affirmation that I should do this because I think I would be amazing at what she's doing or what he's doing. So don't be afraid to mention that to somebody. I tend to reserve it. So my coaches on the line are like, oh my gosh, she just said that to me because she wanted me to coach. I reserve it for people who I think are rocking my challenge groups and are doing amazing and inspiring people within my groups. I don't say it to everybody because some people I feel like I just need to love on at that time and I don't want to stress them out. But they get to the point where they're really proving themselves in terms of rocking a challenge group. Somebody's got a fish emergency. That's funny. We had up to 100 people earlier. Sorry, I'm totally squirreling in off the direction. But don't hesitate to mention it to your Rockstar challengers because I guarantee they've either thought about it or then once you've mentioned it, they're going to start thinking about it. And it might take them 2 or 3 months to get there, but at least the seed is planted that they would actually be amazing at this. And who are you to hold this opportunity from somebody? Who knows if you're not signing the next Melanie Mitro, who is going to blow it up and completely transform her family's life financially. Like really, don't contain your challengers to where you are. You just don't know who you're going to sign. So I boldly share that with my Rockstar challengers because I never know what their potential is. So I'm going to go into my call, and then we'll open up for questions at the end. But I'm hoping that we don't have any technical difficulties because I was trying to get my slides pulled up beforehand. Okay, if you're really OCD, don't look at my desktop or it'll drive me crazy. Okay, that's not it. Where is it? Oh my gosh, I had it pulled up. Like, that would be like slide. Greg's like, oh my word. It was there before, but okay. We'll just do it old school style, right?
Yes, I want to see your desktop. It is mind-blowing.
Yeah, this is my desktop. Hold on. How do you get to my desktop? I don't even know how to get to it. I don't know how to get there.
Oh my goodness.
There, that's my desktop.
Oh my goodness.
If you think you need to have your ducks in a row to become a coach, you don't. That's what it looks like. My assistant Nicola is like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go to make a trip to her house, and let's see, that's not it. Let's see here. Okay, I'm trying to find my file because I had it pulled up. I don't know how to get to it now. So
was it in PowerPoint or in?
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Click on PowerPoint over on the right.
Okay. Thank goodness Josh is on the call, right? See, compliance, he does contribute to my team. There it is. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to kind of go through this quickly because I know a lot of you have heard it, and then I want to be able to show you a live group that's happening now, and I want to be able to answer your questions. But for those of you who haven't heard it, I'll go ahead and go through it. So one of the things that I like to do, and I still give credit to this day because it really has moved my business forward really rapidly from 5-star in January to 10-star qualifying in April or May. So I give credit to Kelly King for coming up with this idea. And then I just started rolling with it and evolving it. When I jumped in to do it, I had no plan of action, which is why I tell people, especially Emerald personalities, you don't always have to have a perfect plan of action. Sometimes you just need to jump in and do it and start learning to swim while you're in the water. But I put a call to action post on my wall. And typically my call to action post is going to speak to Jatana 3 years ago. I always try to post talking to myself before Beachbody because those are the people that I'm going to relate to the best. So when you guys are doing a post, think of tailoring it and making sure that it's talking to you before you got a hold of Beachbody, before you lost the weight or before you had a financial transformation or any type of transformation with Beachbody. Talk to that person in your posts. And so one of the things that I used to struggle with right after having James and never was obese or anything like that. It was more like 10 to 12 pounds that I wanted to lose and to firm up. I would wear Spanx. worst things ever if you've ever tried on Spanx, but they're super uncomfortable. But we, us women, we put them on so we like suck everything in. So we're wearing like the sweater dress that was like super popular back like 3 years ago. We still wear them. It's okay, but it was super popular 3 years ago. I used to wear the Spanx under that so that everything slimmed out, right? So when I'm saying this on my wall on a Monday morning, highest traffic time for you moms, I am talking to Jatana 3 years ago. And so I say, who wants to cruise through the holidays with no Spanx, be ready for the new year? Well, then I created a pic monkey. You don't even have to use a professional picture. It could be a cute picture with really good lighting, and you can cut yourself out with pic monkey and put it on a white background, and it looks amazing. So I asked some questions, and these are totally stolen from Kelly, so I give her credit. But what is it? How long does it last? What do I get? And how do I join? I grabbed a little ornament from Google Images and put it on there and etched it out and turned it into a preview. Now, every month I like to change my theme because I feel like it makes it a lot more fun for me to promote. And it's new and fresh to my audience, so it's not like, oh my gosh, it's another fitness challenge group by Jatana, yay. But it's something new every time, and sometimes I like to put a little spin on it. So one of the things that I like to add value to my audience is beauty and fashion. I really enjoy talking about makeup products and how to wear your shirt tucked in the front with belt and all this stuff. So, you know, Makeover Mama was a theme that I did. I did Love Your Body in February, and I think we did personal development in that one where we started working on our heart, our inside, making sure we're dealing with the junk inside as well as working on our appearance. And then the New Year, New You, which is really cliche, but and I obviously use the before and after of Josh and I and our family, which I think there's like a 3-year span in these pictures, just showing, you know, how we've changed, and when they can stake that claim as in this is a new year, let's start a new you. And I talked about it on my wall that way. But so every month when I start marketing myself in my challenge groups, I have something to use. And if you are not starting a new challenge group every month, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You have zero motivation for Success Club because you're like, I don't even know how to hit Success Club. I'm just going to start inviting people to buy a challenge pack. Like, that is not going to give you motivation. What's going to give you motivation is when you say on, let's see, what are my dates here? If you say on May 16th, my challenge group is starting, and I would love for you to join, but the order by date is May 9th. So we got to get you in there so you can see what all you're going to be taking part of, see if it's something that's for you. And then I start counting down. I'm going to show that to you with a deadline of, for example, I give them that deadline because that pushes them off the fence to make a decision if they want to do it. And it lets them know that I'm serious at investing myself into them in these groups. So one of the first things that I post, I created, you know, a private or a closed group on Facebook. And one of the first things that I like to post is my transformation story. This is just one example. I have a few of them that I've used. Some of them are a little bit more lengthier than others, but this is one I used for the New Year and New You because I thought it was a great example of, like I said earlier, starting out in the beginning of the year with a new you. So went with that spin on things. And Josh obviously has a much more visible transformation than I do, so I'm using my husband's. But it's still a relatable, like, it still shows that I have experienced this, and I know the tools that will help them, and I am going to help them on this journey. So having Joshua's transformation is huge for me, because sometimes people do look at me and they're like, okay, what did you lose? 3 pounds? Good job. Like, you're not going to be able to help me. But I live with somebody who's lost a ton of weight, and it's very visible that he's been able to make that change. And so it gives them some confidence in me and my skills to be able to lead somebody in that direction. This is my bread and butter to my call to action in my challenge group sneak peek. And I've said this story before, and I said it at the Vital Behaviors training, but if you haven't heard it, I'm sorry. If you haven't heard it, it's really what the whole point of this is. So there's a video on YouTube, and this video has this guy, and he's at like Lollapalooza or something, and he's out dancing in the middle of the field, and he looks like a complete fool. Everybody's kind of looking at him like, what is he on? He's tripping on something. And another person decides to get up off their little blanket and join him in his like crazy, I don't know if y'all can see, but he's like crazy dancing. And then a few minutes later, 3 or 4 people get up. And before you know it, there's like 75 people up there dancing like fools in the middle of this field. And with that type of like influence, nobody looks crazy. They all look like they're out there having fun. But in the beginning, that one person was like looking like a loony. What that's called is the power of positive peer pressure. Okay, and it's not peer pressure always has a negative connotation to it, but it can be positive as well. It's the power of positive peer pressure. So this post here is my call to action. Now, if you remember, November 2nd was my call to action on my wall. Well, November 6th is the call to action in my private group. I shared my transformation story with them. I typically will share one. Whoa, I'll mute that one. I will typically share one workout post with them with a good solid, like, I didn't feel like doing it, I overcame it, now I'm working out. And then I will do a call to action post. And then I also do a few, I do a few videos kind of explaining what the group's going to be about. And I feel like videos, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, I feel like videos really give them a sense of who you are and that you're a real person. You're not just this person behind a computer, but you actually care and you're sharing your heart and your story with them on a video, which is super valuable. But this is the post. It's a little crooked because I'm not tech savvy like Greg, so sorry. But it lists out everything that they get to be a part of the group. I give size away as a prize. It's a drawing for everybody who orders a challenge pack. And then I give them 2 options, 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme. The reason why I choose it to do it this way, and you can do it however works for you, is my target market thrives on 21-day fix. Like, if I feel like any woman who is just wanting to join a challenge group, I feel like the 21-day fix is a good starting point for them. They do it for 21 days. They might fall in love with it. They might repeat it 3 or 4 times, or they might say, that was great. Okay, now I want to do something different. But I feel like the 21-day fix is a good, solid, basic workout for people, especially for women. So, call to action post, I put a YouTube video of the unboxing down at the bottom so they can kind of see what all they're going to get in their challenge pack. And then if you look over to the right, you'll start seeing people say done, that they ordered. And Ashley, on the same day that I posted the call to action, we had Ashley, Kim, Jennifer, Beth, and Melanie. So that's 5 people who decided to join the challenge group, and that's Success Club 10. And I think it causes that ripple effect. Like, the first person says done. Like, if you are only having people order in private messaging, they don't have that feeling of, wow, well, Ashley just decided to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. And Kim does it. And then Jennifer sees, okay, Ashley and Kim just did it. And other people are just kind of watching and like trying to get off the fence if they're going to join me or not. And seeing that other people are going to be a part in this starts to build that sense of community and is that power of positive peer pressure, and people join in. So it keeps going, and Andrea and Peggy and Tracy and Kelly are all joining in on this challenge group, and some of them might actually be on this call as coaches now. I don't sign up people right away as coaches. I put them through a challenge group, and then that's where I watch and see who's going to be amazing at this, who just gets it, and then I, will put things like, hashtag your coach, or send them a message and ask them if they've ever thought about it, because I really genuinely think they would be amazing. And the transition from challenge group to coach is so much easier because I did it the hard way for 2 years. And now I've been doing it this way. And my transition to people becoming coaches, they know I want to run a challenge group like I experienced. And that's what they do. They jump in and they start running a challenge group like they just experienced with me. So I do a prize incentive. Like I said, it's a drawing, and it's during one of my Zoom calls with my challenge group when we do a Kickstart call, and I'll show you that. And then I do lots of videos of me sitting here at my desk. I'm got the same braid. I try not to make them super professional with words going across the screen or anything like that. It's just me talking and sharing my story, my journey, and then what they're going to get out of this experience and what I expect from them. their commitment level. And I think that really makes it more of a genuine interaction rather than just seeing posts. And here's another example of power of positive peer pressure. After everybody started ordering, I list everybody's names out. And once their names are listed on there, and I said, this is who I have so far who's going to join this group this month. We close on I'm just going off November 16th. I say we close on the 20th. People will be posting underneath this. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna order tonight. Don't leave me out. I want to be on the list. And it's huge. Like, people want to see their name up here, and it's a great way that, like I said a million times, to get people off of that fence of whether or not they feel like it's worth their time and their money to do this. So that's another little thing I do. And then I also, at the beginning of this, once I've closed the group, kept everybody in there that bought a challenge pack or bought a program or already owned a program, whatever their situation is. I'm not just challenge pack only. They are all staying in there. And then everybody who decided that it wasn't their time, I put them on a follow-up list. And so I always have a running follow-up list of people, like, say I add 75 people to this group, or they add themselves, or I ask them and then I add them. I never just add them because that's annoying. I have 75 people and say only like 25 people stay in there, then those other 50, I'm writing their names down on a list and I'm continuing to follow up with them over periods of time. So this post is just asking for them to share their picture below and giving them a few rules. And the rules are really like simple because I'm not a rule person. I don't like rules, but judgment-free zone, have fun, and then ask them to share their picture below. And I create a collage of everybody's pictures and post them on my wall. And what does this do? It's funny because Stephanie's actually on this call and she's a coach now. So I just had my one-on-one with her for the first time, her getting started right call today. But Carol's also on there. That's funny. It's funny to see these faces and see that they're coaches now. And this was in November. So I'll say, you know, a face on here. These are the finalists for my holiday hotness group. That builds up my credibility. These are like, I put it out there that I was going to run one, and these are the people who have decided to commit, so they are the finalists of my group. Give them a huge shout out of support, and I tag all of them. Of course, I ask for their permission to be able to tag them in this because it's going to show up on their wall. And I put, because in 30 days, they will have transformed their health and fitness. They will be learning portion control, but I'm literally promoting my challenge group to all of their audience. They will be learning portion control, how to meal plan, getting personal trainer style workouts in their home, winning fun prizes, and it's a private group, blah, blah. And then I put at the end, next challenge group starts January 4th. So when Jody and Carol and Peggy and all of their friends see this, they either come, you know, creep on my page and see what I'm all about and start following me. Or they might even ask their friend of like, what is this? Or if their friend becomes a coach, like Stephanie has, their friends have already seen and been exposed to the fact that Stephanie is a part of something. So when she begins to invite, it's not a brand new thing for her and her audience. I'm going to skip over that one because I don't like the picture. But the next thing that I do is I put them on a kickoff Zoom call. And it's kind of prepping people to the coaching vibe. Like, this is what we do. We get on calls weekly with our team, and I get on calls with my challenge groups. And in this experience right here, they're introducing themselves to one another. They're getting to know each other, what each other's goals are. And a lot of times, actually like all the time, they're completely strangers, and some of them are strangers to me, so it's a good opportunity for me to get to know them. And sometimes I'll call them like pajama parties or a glass of wine party or whatever to make it feel comfortable because they're super nervous to get on a video with me. And so we just get to know each other in this call and create that sense of community, that we are a team of people who are going to love on and encourage. And this is where I set the expectations of my challenge group of what it's going to be like. And this part is so important because if you skip this part, people start the challenge group and they're not really sure like what the vibe is or what to do, and all these personalities are meshed together. But if you get on the Zoom call before the challenge starts, you can really set up expectations for your challengers of what you're expecting from them and explain how the whole process is going to work. And then I'm able to explain my point tracker to them. So I do a point tracker in the groups, and they get points based on their daily activity. If they complete their daily, what do we call it, task, I guess you could say, the tasks are super simple. They're like, do a random act of kindness and share with the group. Or like today's was share an inspirational quote that you love. Or we create a dream board. That's one of the things we did on day 2. But I also have them share videos, and they have to answer questions in the video, and they all do it. And I'm going to show you guys this. They get points for that. And then the next category of points is if they did their workout and they posted a sweaty selfie to the group. This is obviously, I think, grooming people as coaches, because not everybody's super comfortable like we are of taking pictures of them in the sweaty selfie. So I like to do this because it gets them more comfortable in front of the camera. So when they do become a coach, they're like, oh, I take sweaty selfies all the time because I do it in my challenge group, and it's super comfortable. Drink Your Shakeology, they get a point. And then they also get points when they invite their friends and family members to the next challenge group, which obviously creates referrals or creates an opportunity to use for you to see person into your next challenge group. You could say, hey, Kim, I am so glad that you have found 2 women who want to join this next group and are ready to like order a challenge pack now because they're super excited. Let's get you signed on, and then boom, you talk about the coaching opportunity and let them take on these new challengers and help them through that next challenge group. And then the last thing that I do is a bonus, and it is to post about their workout or food or experience on a Beachbody fan page. And my challengers will be on like the 21 Day Fix Instagram page and 21 Day Fix Facebook page, sharing in Jatana Jackson's group, I lost 5 pounds in 1 week, and I'm feeling amazing, and it's so much fun. So that creates more traffic for my page as well, for anybody who's on the 21 Day Fix Beachbody page. Okay, and the last thing that I do once the group is over, because I post every day a new task for them so that they can earn points. At the very end, I have a call to action post. Now, I didn't click see more, which I wish I would have, so I probably need to redo these slides. But in the call to action post in my challenge group at the very end, I give them 3 options. The first option, they can join my next challenge group. That's going to be 30 days, and it's already set in stone, and like the date's picked and everything. And the link in the group is set up, so I put the link there for them so I don't have to start switching people all around. They do it themselves. Now, let me side note, they get 2 rounds with me in these private 30-day groups. And then after that, they are allowed to go into what is option 2, which is our Team Epic Empire Accountability Group. And what Epic Empire Accountability Group is basically all of my veteran challengers, and then also all of my coaches who are like, listen, I don't really want to run challenge groups, but if I sell a challenge pack, I need a place to put somebody that will be loved on. And that group is still high functioning. We have posts in there daily. We do the Motivational Monday and I don't know, all kinds of different things each day of the week. But that's option 2 for my challengers. They can join the next group. If they've done it 2 rounds, they can join the Epic Empire Accountability Group. And then the third option, I list out the benefits of coaching, and I put a challenge group sneak peek link at the bottom of each of the option 3. So they can go check out the sneak peek, and then they can join the next round of the 21 Day Fix with me, or they can join the sneak peek and go into Epic Empire Accountability. But either way, all 3 options are there in front of them, and it allows people to disperse where they need to go and frees up my time. So I went over that really, really fast because, like I said, I feel like a lot of people have seen it. And I want to open up for questions. Let me show you real quick. Oh my gosh. My Facebook page. This is my Summer Strong group. So this is a group that I just started. We're only on day 3. So it kind of gives you a feel for what my groups look like. Hopefully no weird messages pop up. So I have my tracker pinned at the top of the page. And I can open it for you here. Like I said, we're only on day 3. but people are posting their points. They're doing it. They're already adding up points. So the interactions and are happening. And as you can see here, I don't know if you guys have ever had a dud challenge group, but my challenge groups are like 99% of the time never does. I think I had 1 month where it was a struggle. They post daily. So today's task was they had to post a motivational quote that they liked, and that's what they all did. They post their sweaty selfies. They post out what they ate that day. Yeah, so it's kind of a feel for what the group looks like, and that it's super interactive all day long. And that's what my little sneak peek looks like. Now I'll just show you really quick. This is the holiday hotness group that I left open. This is it in real time. This is the what's next that I was just telling you about, where you can see all 3 options. And the challenge group links are there, so it's super easy for them to just click on where they want to go. And they're supposed to tell me below what option they chose, which you can see they all commented, and it allowed me to see where they were going. Little videos that I do.
About the pajama party tonight, which basically is going to be a video chat. I made it a pajama party so you guys don't feel like you have to do your hair and makeup for the call. It is going to be...
So that's me just talking about that we're going to do a kickoff call and inviting them to it and telling them about it. Like I said, I like to do a lot of videos because I feel like it makes it more, like they get to know me as a person rather than me just being behind a screen. And this is me just explaining the whole 21-day fix and how it works. So that is my rundown that I literally rinse, wash, repeat every single month and able to duplicate myself. My coaches are doing it as well, and they're doing, some of them have high months, some of them have low months, but we're doing it and it's working fantastically. If you already have a following or you're a diamond coach, this is like a gold mine because this allows you to manage people a lot better. Because I found myself for a long time having all these conversations all over my inbox, and I'm like, I don't know where to put people. I don't know. We're going to start a challenge group next tomorrow. And like just throwing people places because I didn't know what to do with them. This allowed to free up my time and talk to a lot of people at once. So I will open it up for questions. If you have a question, just unmute your line.
I have one, Jatana. How do you manage the groups? So you create a group for the sneak peek, and then do you create another group for the challenge group and move people from the sneak peek to the challenge group, or you kick everybody out who doesn't sign up?
Yep, and that's why I make that list for me, especially, is I list everybody out in that post. Get any scragglers that are like, oh my gosh, no, don't leave me out. You know what I mean? And I edit that post. Like if somebody says I ordered a challenge pack and I'm not on there, I put them in the post and I just edit it and edit it and edit it, and then that's my final list. And then after that, we go through and remove everybody and put them on a piece of paper follow-up list, and the challenge group is ready to go.
Okay, and then every month is a different group, a new group.
New group. So, for example, my last one, I don't even know what the name of it was, but it's closed out and done. And I think Nicola has a good system of shutting groups down. That was actually shared on the wall not too long ago. What else you got? I just talked really fast, so feel free to ask questions.
I've got a question. Well, actually, I have a couple, but so your initial banner that you make, like to promote it, that has like the what is it? What do I get? All that. Do you promote that from a like page or just to your personal page?
That's a good question. So I do promote it, or I post it. There's two different things. I post it on both pages. My like page is not. I've never sold one thing for my like page. I haven't run any ads. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't, but if you're going to do the whole promoting it, make sure you know what you're doing, because I don't want you to, it's like a slot machine if you're doing it wrong. You're literally like wasting your money. But most, like 99.99% of my business was built on my personal Facebook page, 10-star diamond personal Facebook page. Instagram sucks. My like page sucks. I don't put any attention on that.
Okay, so you're just adding new people to your page then just by friend requesting new people or groups or something like that instead of.
Yeah, mom groups have been huge for me. I started my whole business in what I call Montclair Moms, which is my neighborhood. literally my business was started there. It was my first challengers came from there, and it's now regulated where I can't post like a challenge group opportunity in there. So what I do now is I'm able to say something like, I don't know, I need to go get my car washed. What car wash do you ladies recommend? Or something to where they're going to give me advice, and I'm typically going to get like 15 moms that are going to all share their opinion. Or I need a new pediatrician, or I need a new OBGYN, or whatever. They're all going to share their opinions, and then I can go through and like their posts, interact, ask questions, and send them a friend request right there.
Okay. And then when you do the Zoom call in your challenge group, do you just do one at the beginning, just one Zoom call, or are you doing more?
No, just one. I mean, I think for most challengers, it's already hard enough for them to get on. But yeah, I just do one kickoff call, and then you now can actually do a group chat, which sometimes annoys certain personalities. Chat, and you can also do Facebook Live from your groups if you wanted to talk to them and interact.
Oh, okay. Cool. And then I have one last question. So you teach your new coaches how to do this on their own. It seems like you do this strictly by yourself? Or
I do. Well, it depends. So it depends on how many coaches I sign within the month. So the coaches that signed on with me before November were kind of SOL because I didn't have this system yet. And so they've had to learn a different way, or now we're all starting to pick it up and figure it out. But the ones that signed on as coaches from November on, because I've been doing this system since November, have a pretty good feel for what it looks like. And so a lot of times, either two things happen. One, they do the next challenge group with me, and in my post I'll say if your coach is Tammy or Carol, you know what I mean, I share their names. And then I tell my coaches, I give them a good script of like, okay, send this to your challengers because it's time to order. They'll do that, they'll mentor with me, but I firmly believe in the we do, or I do, we do, you do. And so my most of my coaches are very good at just like jumping in and going for it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Hi, Carla. I'm so happy for you. I can't see what else is going on in the group chat. You prefer a private Facebook page or for challenge groups, or the I've never used the challenge tracker app. I'm like a creature of habit, so I have a really hard time at breaking what's working. And I sent somebody my challenge pack points for the past 6 months with this, and it's like SC 16, 17, 26. Like, why am I going to change? It's working right now. But I'm also the person that's like, skinny jeans. I'm not wearing skinny jeans. And then I wear them like a year and a half after they're in style. So it takes me a while. That's just me, though. That's not saying that's not what you should do. If you feel like it's something that would be great for your business, then go for it.
I have a question. For your challengers that purchase the 21-day fix, if they don't sign up as a coach and the challenge is over, what do you do with them?
So they can roll into my next 30-day challenge and do round 2. Or they can join my Epic Empire Accountability Group, which is just a structured group that's a Monday through Sunday, like Motivational Monday, Transformation Tuesday, those type of posts. And it's the same thing every week after week. And those are the 2 homes for them. They can, like I said, the large Epic Empire group, which is a much larger group, or do round 2 with me. And another one, they can always bump up to 21-Day Fix Extreme, or they can try T25 or something else. They don't all become coaches. But my challenger to coach ratio is much better now after this.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. What else?
A question. For your sneak peek, do you create an event or do you just make a post?
That's a good question. I do a call to action post on my wall. I'm thinking that if you create an event, it could create more traction because a public event with a challenge group link in it allows the people who are attending the event to expose that to their friends, because we all know that a public event is whenever, say, Nicole joins my public event, all of Nicole's friends see that she joined it. So that could be a potential. I've just never experienced with that. I just tend to be able to post on my wall and have pretty good traction that way. And that's all about creating a following of people by being consistent on your social media.
I have a question.
Yep.
So I'm new at trying to start a challenge group. What was it that worked for you when you first started and you didn't have anybody in any group whatsoever, and you started your first challenge group? Like, how did you start it? Is what
Yeah. Well, when I first started as a coach, the whole challenge group thing was confusing to me, and I think it's confusing to a lot of coaches of like, what do I do? And for my coaches, what I like for them to do if they feel like they don't have a big audience yet, I encourage them to pair up together and maybe try it together so that they have a larger, like say they only get 6 people. But when I signed on as a coach, this is what I did. I invited about 165 people on day 1 to join my challenge group. Did I know what the heck a challenge group, like what I was going to do? No, I didn't even know what I was going to post in it. I think I used the stuff in the back office, back in the day when like but I think they still do it and I don't use it anymore. But I used the challenge group post in the back office, but I invited like a crazy woman. And that's just my personality. Like if I'm going in, I'm going in. If you invite 5 people, most likely all 5 of them are going to say no. If you invite 10 people, you might get 1 maybe. I mean, it's really a numbers game. So when you are first starting out, because you don't have that like ripple effect or that compound effect of inviting people, you have to invite like large amounts of people to really get traction. And then all of those 160 people that I invited 3 years ago, I guarantee you that like 80% of them are either coaches or challengers now. So while they all said no to me, because it's always a no, not yet, right? We never take no for no. It's no, not yet. I'm not ready for it yet, or you haven't shown me that I can trust you with this. So I tell my new coaches, you got to just go out and invite in larger amounts of numbers, and definitely focus on people that you feel really comfortable with. Because, asking your best friend or your girlfriend or your cousin or somebody you went to college with is a lot easier to be like, hey, Rebecca, what's up, girl? I know we haven't talked in like 2 weeks. I'm doing this challenge thing, and I would love some accountability in it. Would you be interested in working out with me and being my accountability partner and starting it out like that? But yeah. I went in and went crazy with it and just invited a bazillion people. And it was a terrible invite. It was like, I don't know where you're at today in life, but I'm starting a challenge group.
Well, like I'm new and like I don't have anybody. Like I'm just now, like, I probably have, like, I talked to, like, 2-3 people, and that's it. Like, I'm brand new to this whole, like, trying to do the whole business portion of the Beachbody stuff. And so, like, I'm kind of just struggling with, like, just the initial, like, conversation with my 2 friends. And I'm just like, well, I want to get this challenge group, but do I have enough people? Or, I don't talk to enough people. I mean, I'm a talkative guy, but I just don't talk. I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook, and plus, my job and stuff takes up my time. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do I invite, hundreds of people or, a massive amount of people to doing this challenge group if I don't have anyone? I mean.
So it sounds like, one, you need to toss out a whole bunch of excuses. Right? Like, toss it out of here. I don't care if you work. I don't care. Like, we have a ton of people that do that, right? I'm giving you tough love.
Right.
If you don't have a lot of friends, what do you need to do?
Make friends.
That's right. You need to add more people to your friends list. And you need to add intentionally the people that you feel like you can connect best with. Are you going to add your great auntie that's 75 years old? No, like, you're just not going to connect with that person. But if you look at somebody's profile and you're like, oh, I went to college with them, or I used to work with them at this restaurant, or, think of all your jobs, think of where you went to school, who and start connecting with people that way. This business, and somebody said it in our Vital Behaviors, this business is a relationship business. It's not a transaction business. There's so many businesses out there that are all about the transaction, and this is relationship. So what you need to do is you need to go out, find people, not that you can have relations with, because that sounds really bad, but that you can start building a relationship with. You know what I mean? And I love, even one of my coaches said they do this. I don't know who it was, so if it was you, I give you credit. The birthdays is a great way. Instead of writing happy birthday on somebody's wall, because it's so random, the people that it's going to be their birthday, go send them a private message and be like, hey, Sue, what's up, girl? It is your birthday today. I hope you have an amazing day, and go eat some cake for me. You know what I mean? In a private message, because everybody in the world likes to put it on their wall. But when you put it in a private message, it starts a conversation. And I don't know your name, I want to call you Kelsey, but she might turn around and be like, hey, thanks, I appreciate that. How have you been? I've seen your workout post. Like, you are rocking it. And a dialogue has started. You know what I mean? So a lot of times that's another way to go about doing it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
When you do a specific group, like to a specific program, do you do the same program with them, or do you do your own thing?
I do my own thing.
Okay, so do you post about that then? Like, hey, I know you guys are all doing this, but I'm going to be doing this. Like, how do you handle that?
I just posted that I did my workout, that I got my workout in that day. Now, I do Beachbody, and don't get me wrong, I don't like gym or anything. And that's the same with your wall. I don't post what I'm doing on my wall. It's called breadcrumbing. You don't post, I just did P90X3 today, and it was awesome. Like, that's the most lamest post ever. You want to say, my alarm clock went off this morning, and gosh darn it, my bed was warm and cozy, and I did not want to get up. But I was told when I was reading this awesome book of personal development, because that's what we do as coaches, that successful people do what other people are not willing to do. So guess what? I hit the stop button on my alarm clock. I grabbed my clothes off my nightstand. I put them on, and here I am, and here's my sweaty selfie of proof that I conquered it. Now I feel amazing. I'm going to be running around with my kids with tons of energy. That's a good post. P90X3 today, yeehaw, that's a terrible post. Because what are they going to do? They're going to be like, oh, great. Good for you. Scroll, or they're going to say, ooh, what's P90X3? Let me go buy it on Amazon. So if you breadcrumb what you're doing in your life and not share the whole loaf right at once and give them a reason to go to Amazon and buy it, then they're going to continue following you, and eventually they're going to say, okay, Jatana, I've been following you for like 6 months now, and I need help because I'm getting ready to get married, or I'm getting ready to go on vacation, or, I just had to get put on medication for my cholesterol. They will follow you, so you have to be consistent on your social media with really good content. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you do your challenge group sneak peeks, how many days were those? I wonder if I missed part of that.
No, you're fine. I tend to post the call to action. The call to action with the group open. Let's see. I think the one that I have currently running, I posted it on the 25th of April. And then I collect people for about 2 days, and that's where I start I have a welcome, and I have my transformation story in there and ready to go. As people start getting added, they can read that. And then say on day 2 or 3, I will post my workout post, just like you just heard, that great, like, I conquered it, I did it type post. And then I'll say the next day, I'll say tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the instructions of how to take part in this group is going to be posted. Stay tuned. And then I post my call to action post. And then I usually have about 5 days until they need to order. So I'll start doing, we have 5 days to order and 4 days to order and 3 days. And then I do like at 8 o'clock tonight, and in the morning, 8 o'clock tonight, if the orders aren't, like, whoever's here by 8 o'clock tonight, those are my finalists for this challenge group. And it'll be closed to challengers only. So I could do, I want to say it's like 8 days max.
So you're just kind of telling them what you will be doing in the challenge group after they order and all that.
Yep.
No, all the money stuff is done privately about how much it all costs?
It's all done when they click the link and take a look at it.
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
great. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the best way with money, the money part is I don't even ever like typing the word $160. I don't want to type that. I want them to go to my page and see everything they're getting after I have painted this beautiful masterpiece of what they are going to get from me. And then finally I do that call to action, the very last thing, and they click on that link and they're seeing everything they're going to get, and they're at that decision-making moment. Not only that, but they're starting to see people say done. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And sometimes when I don't get enough traction in my group and people aren't saying done, and I have challengers from the previous group, I'm like, can you just go put done so that I know to keep you in here because you're a repeat challenger? And it starts the ripple effect really quickly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a question down here. We're getting on like 10:18. Y'all serious. What do you do when someone asks? Okay, I already answered that one. Any other questions?
I got a question.
Okay.
Okay, so in the sneak peek, before you do your call to action saying, okay, you know, whoever's ready to order, here's the links to order, and this is your options and this and that and stuff. I understand you're doing a transformation or you're posting your transformation stuff, and you're doing the unboxing of the program itself, but what else are you doing? I mean, and then I guess you're telling them what they get when they join your group and the support and this and that and stuff. So
yeah, there's not much more than that. I mean,
okay.
It's a welcome, and then it's a transformation picture, whether it's my own personal one, depending on, it's typically all women, but my own personal one or the one of me and my husband, with a story, and then I'll post the solid workout posts on there. And sometimes it's one that I did like 6 months ago, but it's something that they can see what they're going to hear and get motivation-wise. And then I will do a video that's just basically talks about me and what I'm excited about with this group and what they're going to get out of it.
Okay.
Trying to see if I have any challengers on the line that went through that experience and see what they thought.
Oh, and then also, are you only doing challenge packs? So do you only, for 21 Day Fix or 21 Day Fix Extreme, you have the links for just those two options, right?
Just the challenge packs, but I do have people that will request to join the group, and they'll say, well, I already own the DVDs. And I'm like, awesome. And then I go into a private conversation and say, hey, if you're working with a coach, let me know, because we need to get you plugged in with your coach's challenge groups. Because I get a lot of people within the network that'll follow and want to join it because their coach isn't necessarily running anything. I try to run a super ethical ship of, if you are working with a coach, you need to go back and ask your coach to help you run a challenge group. Or they might have borrowed it from their neighbor, you know, or bought it off Craigslist or Amazon. Then in that point, I can take them on as my challenger.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All my coaches are like jumping off. They're like, so already heard this. Anything else?
I have another question. Do you have, since you said you don't have like page or Instagram, is your personal page public or private?
Absolutely. I do have a like page and Instagram, and I post all of my content from my personal page on Instagram and in my like page. But if your Facebook profile page is not public, you're setting your business backwards. It sounds like a scary thing to do, but you can select any post. Like if I post a picture of me and my kids, and I don't want like everybody in the world to be able to see it, people live in Pakistan to see it, I will put friends only, and only my friends can see that. Now, I even have friends now that are strangers, because I've grown so much in my network that I start accepting lots of, mainly women, that become Facebook friends with me that I don't necessarily know and could trust. So I'm just really careful. I have put my, foot in the sand, or whatever the terminology is, that this is my business now. This Facebook page is my business, so I have got to treat it like my business. This is not my family photo album, basically, anymore. So if you want to be serious with this and grow this into a 6-figure income like I have, then you just need to turn your Facebook page over into being a well-run Beachbody ship. Do you post Beachbody all over it? Heck no. I barely say the words Beachbody unless I'm like talking about what an opportunity it's been, and then I always put the disclaimer on there. But I don't really talk a lot of Beachbody or products. I just share my journey, and then I'm doing it as a mom with kids climbing on me.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, it is getting late. It's like 10:22. Let me preface this. I forgot to say this. This sounds really bad. Don't send me a friend request because I'm running out of friends, and it makes no sense because I can't sell you a challenge pack or sign you as a coach, right? We want to conserve our friends for our potential customers. Even my team, I've had to they can't have too much because I want challengers and coaches. And then the other thing, and this is going to sound bad, but I can't add you to my groups because I've had literally after I do this presentation, I'll have 35 people message me can I just be a fly on the wall? I'm like, no, if I do that, then my poor assistant's going to kill me because she has to remove everybody. So that's the other thing. And I try to share as much as possible with you. If you guys have questions, I am an open book and I am willing to share any of it. Alrighty.
All right. Thank you very much, Jatana. I think that was awesome. And I think a lot of people will start doing that and give it a try.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Love y'all.
Thank you, guys.
I'm getting Success Club, now.
Working on it.
Thank you.
Take a picture.